Should Kash Patel be sending out resumes?
Oh, yeah. I mean, appointing him the head of the FBI is like, appointing a lifetime truant to the, lead the Department of Education. I mean, he never was qualified. And, all he does is fly around and see his girlfriend and, other weird things, get press releases out. And now he's trying to appeal to the president by attacking members of Congress for doing their duty and reporting the truth, which is what the U.S. Military Code of Justice says. You do not have to follow illegal orders, and you should not.
We're going to get to that case as well here. Ty, what's it like to be fired by Donald Trump? Does Kash Patel get a phone call? Does he hear our conversation? Does he read about it on Truth Social?
I'm sure Kash Patel is listening to a lot of conversations that he should not be listening to. I think, though, that with regard to him being fired, he'll either hear about it on the news or one of his friends will tell him. Unlikely that Trump would call him personally. Trump doesn't like to engage in that. In fact, I don't think he's ever personally fired somebody directly other than perhaps James Comey.
Well, I'll tell you, this is an interesting moment for him because we're not even at the 1 year mark, and you've got a president who is hoping to not have a revolving door. What happened to the conversations that were had over Kash Patel and Pete Hegseth, for that matter, when it came time for their confirmation process? This was said to be a president of the United States that would not apologize and was not going to fire anyone to please any Democrats. Have we reached the line on that one?
I don't think we've reached that line. I wish we would. If we could get rid of all the incompetence and unqualified people that are in the positions that they currently hold, like Hegseth and Patel and others, it would be a wonderful day for America. But I think that's going to take an election to finalize. I do think, though, that Hegseth clearly is being pushed to the back bench. His number two is leading the negotiations on Ukraine and doing the traveling and the actual heavy lifting. While he attacks Mark Kelly, a war hero, astronaut, American hero, public servant, Nonpareil, who all he did was, along with others, remind people they care about, enlisted people, not to follow illegal orders, which is what the Code of Military Justice requires and what they teach at the academy. They spend a lot of time at the various academies honing in on people to understand this important principle of military justice.
Well, so let's go a little bit further, and I want you to listen to what the press secretary had to say about this. Caroline Leavitt was asked about these 6 Democrats, not just Mark Kelly. There were 5 others who appeared in this video urging, again, members of the military to refuse to follow what they call illegal orders. Here's what the press secretary had to say, speaking for the president.
The White House is supportive of the Department of War's investigation into Senator Mark Kelly, and I think what Senator Mark Kelly was actually trying to do was intimidate the 1.3 million active duty service members who are currently serving in our United States Armed Forces with that video that he and his Democrat colleagues put out.
What is, Ty Cobb, the legal definition of sedition in this case? Did any of these lawmakers, I guess, conduct sedition or deserve execution, as the president said?
Yes. I mean, keep in mind that, when Charlie Kirk was sadly murdered, the president condemned political hate speech, and then he called for the execution of, 6 elected officials, for merely stating the law. I mean, when you say, to the 1.3 million, according to Creepy Caroline, when you say to those people that, please don't follow illegal orders and remind them of their ethical and legal obligation not to do so, you actually are comforting them. I can't tell you how much I hear from families and military people about how scared people are on the ships that are killing people. Because there's a widespread belief and understanding that in wartime and in peacetime, you cannot kill civilians unless it's in self-defense or you're in danger of imminent harm. So these are war crimes, and reminding people not to commit illegal, not to follow illegal orders is an important public service, and they did no more than that. So He had an absolute First Amendment right to do this. He didn't say anything that was contrary to the law. All these people wanted to follow the law. It's merely that, anybody who offends Trump, in his view, deserves to die.
Wow, that's saying something. We've got a minute left, Ty. I have to ask you about James Comey and Letitia James. Charges dropped yesterday against them. The White House says they're coming back again. Who should worry more right now, James Comey or Lindsay Halligan?
Lindsay Halligan. Comey will never be convicted. I think the case as to Comey is likely dead. The government would have the opportunity under the 6-month rule, Section 3244, to attempt to re-indict him. But the statute of limitations has run, and footnote 21 is probably the most important aspect of the opinion that Judge Curry issued as to Comey, which goes through the extensive case law on how the government's conduct voided the indictment. So the indictment really never existed, and under those circumstances, the statute of limitations really has run. Wow. Letitia James can be re-indicted, and she still has her vindictive prosecution motion that will be heard and likely granted. I don't think anybody's in trouble here but Halligan and Bondi.